reception. For today's story time, I have chosen to read Daniel O'Dowd Was Ever So Loud, which was written by Julie Fulton and illustrated by Elena Ellis. Remember, when you're an illustrator, it means you drew the pictures out in the book. So Elena Ellis drew the pictures in this book. Okay, are you sitting comfortably? Well, then I think we are ready to begin. Daniel O'Dowd was ever so loud. He shouted wherever he went. At the zoo, the chimps cried when his mouth opened wide, and the elephant hid in a tent. When he shouted at school, his teacher, Miss Paul, wrapped a big woolly scarf round her head. She declared, "I've no doubt if you stopped shouting out, you would hear something useful instead." The class went to visit Professor McWisit. He built things like airports for bees, mad machines to cut hair, an invisible chair, and a telescope made out of cheese. Wow. Daniel shouted, "Yippee! Let me look! Let me see!" All the noise made Miss Paul start to frown. Daniel's shouts grew so loud they scared all the crowd and made the town's lighthouse fall down. Daniel screwed up his face and looked up into space. He saw satellites, planets and stars. Then he shouted in shock, "I can see a huge rock and it's racing towards us from Mars." Oh dear. Professor McWisit said, "Hang on a minute, I've a rocket I made from a clock. If I send Daniel out, he can give us a big shout, and I think he could shatter the rock." Ooh. Daniel clambered on board, the engines all roared, and the rocket shot way up high. It zoomed past the moon in a spaceship, and soon it was next to the rock in the sky. Daniel gave a loud shout. The noise echoed about, but the rock simply shuddered and twitched. So he shouted lots more than ever before, and bang! The rock burst into bits. The professor said, "Wow, you can stop shouting now. I'll explain how to fly back to Earth." But the boy didn't hear what was said in his ear. He was cheering for all he was worth. The rocket sped on, and soon it had gone many miles from young Daniel's hometown. When he saw a fright, the Earth vanished from sight. Daniel cried out, "I want to get down!" Oh dear, where's the Earth gone? Can't see it. He bellowed and yowled, he hollered and howled, till his face went a bright rosy red. Then he thought of Miss Paul and her listening rule. I mustn't shout, I must listen instead. The professor said, "Quick, pull the red control stick." Daniel pulled it as hard as he could. The rocket swung round and flew back to the ground, landing right where the lighthouse had stood. Daniel O'Dowd was no longer so loud. His adventure had made it quite plain. I will listen lots more. I won't shout like before, unless Earth needs saving again. The end. What a lovely story about space, which is our topic for the next couple of weeks. I really enjoyed this story. I thought it was really good, and it shows us how important it is to use our listening ears, isn't it? I hope you enjoyed this story as much as I did. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Adios.